Today, and our goal today is to get trees planted, or this morning is to get trees planted. So a couple of months ago, back at our regular home, we ordered some seedlings, some little cedar trees. We noticed there are not really any cedar trees down here, and we wanted some for privacy, kind of to plant in the front part of our property to have a little bit more privacy from the road. And so what we're doing right now is we are digging some holes and then planting the seedlings. And so Billy, do you want to explain a little bit more about it?
Yeah, it's pretty simple. We're wanting the cedar trees, whenever they're mature, they'll get about 10 feet in diameter. So we want to plant them about 10 feet apart. And to help create like a little natural privacy fence, we're going to put in 2 rows of cedar trees. And so the second row we'll be planting them about halfway in the middle between where the other trees are, if that makes any sense. So as they start growing, you'll have, a cedar tree, one back behind it, kind of at an angle, and then another over here at this angle. Yeah, staggering them, so that way they'll help provide privacy fence. Maybe you can show them one of them that we've already done, that we've already planted there.
Yeah. So yesterday we dug a few holes, and this is the little seedling right here. So it's really a good soil. It's mostly like sand based, so we got some bags of the organic compost, which is pretty much cow manure, I think, to add to the soil to kind of give it a little bit of amendment and some nutrients. And then on the first row we've got about 17, and I'm still planting the last few of those, and then so we'll probably end up with about 16 or 17 on the second row. And then we wanted them about 9.5 to 10 feet apart. So Billy came up with this little template. There's two 2x4s screwed together, and that's about 9.5 feet, you said?
Yeah, I mean, I could have made it 10, but it would have made this much closer together, and I wanted it to be kind of firm. So instead of having to get a tape measure and measuring it out, we just lay this between the last hole we dug and then the next hole we dug, and we know exactly what the distance is that we want. So it saves a little bit of time between each hole, instead of getting out a tape measure and or a tape measure that's really awkward, and how they bend and all that stuff. Well, it's easy to kind of plop down and line it up, and then you know where you put your next hole.
Yeah. So at one end down here we had a T-post that kind of lines the driveway area, and we have tied a string. Probably see the string along there to the T-post that's at this end, this border down here. And I don't know how far do you think that is?
Well, if we planted about 17 or 18 of them, they're 10 feet apart, so you're talking about 180, 190 feet from one T-post to the other, so a little bit less than 200 feet.
Okay. All right, so that's just going to kind of give us a guide on, we don't need to be perfectly straight, but we want it to be somewhat straight of a row. So hopefully that'll help, and then we're going to get these planted. And we brought out some jugs of water, so as I plant them, I'm kind of giving them a little drink, even though we've been giving them drinks since we got out here, about every day since we got out here. But when you plant them, you want to also kind of wet the soil a little bit, have a little bit deep down in there for them. So anyway, that's what we're working on this morning.
Yep.
Thank you.